Hello, I'm EVM and welcome back to the channel. Now, car insurance. For me and a lot of people watching this, as well as a lot of people on the various social media sites that I monitor, it's gone up. But more than just standard inflation, even today's inflation rates, it's gone up a hell of a lot. Now, legislation came out last year, in 2021, that meant that this really shouldn't happen, at least not to some people. I'll tell you what the legislation is in a minute, but ultimately, this was meant to even the playing field, whether a new customer or a renewal. And ultimately, they found a way around it, which means that this legislation is essentially pointless. And a lot of insurance companies, because of this legislation, seem to be getting away with charging people an awful lot. Partly due to a little bit of naivety, should I say, on people's part, believing that this legislation would work, and partly because, well, I guess sometimes it's just easier not to bother shopping around. Now, the legislation in question is here. This is from the FCA. FCA confirms measures to protect customers from the loyalty penalty in home and motor insurance markets. This isn't anything new, and quite a lot of people will probably already know this exists. Essentially, if we just skip all the jargon, these measures will put an end to very high prices paid by many loyal customers. Customers or consumers can still benefit from shopping around or negotiating with their current provider, but won't be charged more at renewal for just being an existing customer. The FCA's new rules will stop firms price walking. Insurers will be required to offer renewing customers a price that is no higher than they would pay as a new customer. So essentially, you used to be able to get some good deals, didn't you, by being a new customer, which is why a lot of people, even though they got the renewal price from company number one, they would still go to company number one's website and get a price as if they were a new customer, which was quite often cheaper. So this should have put an end to that. And the reason I'm doing this video isn't because I'm the only one to spot this, really, because I'm sure I'm not. But after my insurance that's just come through for another car, Harry, who's on the channel, his insurance, which has also just come through for his car, which has gone up massively, it seems that this thing, again, is kind of pointless. Because what they're doing is similar to what Dixon's and Curry's and John Lewis have done for years, at least when they existed anyway, and that's that they would offer to price match, let's say, a TV. We will beat anybody on price. And the reason for a lot of that is because they'd have a unique product that only they sold. It'll be a standard TV with a slightly different coloured bezel and therefore a different product. And this is what they're doing with insurance. As Harry has discovered and I've kind of verified, so when you buy insurance, you're not just buying insurance, you're buying a product. Like a TV, I guess. It's a service / product, but effectively it could come with lots of add-ons. So you'll have car insurance, you might have windscreen cover, guaranteed hire car, that sort of thing. There could be several add-ons which make a product. And with EVs, there's a few companies out there that profess to do special deals on electric vehicles only, even though they're just cars, sorry, and it shouldn't make any difference. So if you see anything that says they specialise in EVs, it's just a standard insurance policy, quite frankly. But anyway, that aside, what they're doing is, if you have, let's say, 7 products in your insurance renewal, let's say you've got guaranteed hire car and various other stuff, you've got this. The renewal will be very expensive because it matches your product. But if you go on as a new customer, and again, this is what Harry discovered and I've verified, they would then basically change that slightly. So it may come with a different amount of excess, or it would not come with guaranteed hire car. So the new customers would get a price that's very competitive on a new product, whereas your renewal will be, well, we don't do that anymore, so that's why it's more expensive. That's why the renewal is more expensive than what you've just gone online, because the online thing as a new customer is a different thing entirely, sir. Which is, quite frankly, meaning this legislation is pointless. And I won't call this a scam, it's not. It's been going around for many, many years in retail and various other industries. But it is something which shouldn't happen. And a good portion of why I'm doing this video is because I've spoken to a lot of people over the past few months who who have essentially just gone with their renewal because of this legislation. They've assumed it's the cheapest price because logically it should be, but clearly it isn't. So there'll be lots of people out there going, yes, I know this already, you're not telling me anything new. But there's enough people out there that are saying the opposite, which means I think this is a worthwhile video to let people know what's going on. I didn't know this before, although I've never stopped shopping around because I'm a tight Yorkshireman. And quite frankly, that is the message after everything I've said in this video. Shop around, get more quotes than just your renewal. Treat your renewal price as the worst case scenario, because typically that usually is the right case. It's the worst case scenario. As I found out, my insurance went down quite a percentage. As Harry found out, his went down by, I think, £200 or £300. I mean, that's got to be worth, what, an hour of your time shopping around? Looking for insurance companies, which nobody likes doing. But quite frankly, if we're talking about hundreds of pounds here, I think it's worth it. I can't understand anybody that says, well, it's a bit of a faff, I'll just go with a renewal. You're basically getting money and burning it. You'll be lucky if your renewal's the cheapest price. It does occasionally happen. It's happened to me in the past. But as I found out now, and as I will probably find out in a couple of months when the Tesla's insurance comes up for renewal, it's no longer the case. So effectively, we're back to where we were before this legislation came out. Shop around. That's the take home from this video, effectively. Now, very briefly, Tesla owners. I want you to tell me, if you've got the same car, you live in the same place, basically, if nothing's changed on your insurance, you haven't had an accident or points or anything, has yours gone up a lot? I expect it to go up, but has it gone up a lot? There's a lot of people saying it's nearly doubled. £600, it's now £1,100 or something like that. More than other car makes have gone up by. I don't know if this is because of something Tesla are doing, the parts are more expensive than they were then, or it's just people looking at their renewal and getting caught out by that. There's a lot of people doing the monthly insurance now, where you pay monthly instead of in one go. That attracts interest rates because you're essentially getting a loan for a year. So interest rates have gone up, that will put the monthly payments up, and that has a knock-on effect, of course. There's all sorts of reasons here, but ultimately, I want you to tell me if you've got Model 3, Y, or any other Tesla, and nothing's changed on your policy in terms of your details, has yours gone up massively? Because I can't see a reason for this compared to other cars, unless you can tell me that reason. If you do know, let me know in the comments again. Well, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Like, subscribe, all that sort of rubbish. And yeah, thank you. Bye.